Good morning, everybody. Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to a LPS recap session. I know I did LPS Haunted last time and people seem to enjoy that, but today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite LPS videos, series in the world. Oh my god. There was an era back in the day when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade where LPS romance content was a thing, and people were eating it up. You know, there was LPS Popular, and I definitely ate up LPS Popular, but I'm not going to do a recap on it because everyone's done that, and I want to talk about series other than LPS Popular, even though I love LPS Popular. But there was also another one called LPS More Than That, and bro, oh my god, I love this series. It took me so long to find the series again because I would think about it and I'd be like, was this a fever dream? Did this happen? Did this beef between these two specific LPS actually occur? Like, did this happen? And then I came across it on the internet and I literally screeched. I was like, oh my god. So I binged watched it, and today I'm going to be explaining the entire lore of the series. Will this be in parts? Maybe, I don't know. So we start off with this character named Valerie, otherwise known as like the Brooke Hayes cat, but she's Valerie, okay? And for once, people are portraying this character as a good person. Most people, since like Brooke Hayes happened, portray this cat as a meanie head, but no, she's actually a decent girl, and I love that for her. She's the main character, and she has been talking about this boy who she's had beef with in preschool because this boy took away her teddy bear and she still hung up about it. But like, honestly, I get it. I would be mad too. I would never forgive him, ever. And I guess her talking about this is like half of her personality. Because one day that boy actually comes to her school and transfers there, and she's so upset, and they are forced to sit together because, you know.
And take a seat right there next to Valerie. Excuse me, who? Valerie. Right there, in the front desk. You can sit next to her. Right, Valerie. Excuse me, do you mean Valerie as in Valerie Valentine? Yes, Miss Valentine, exactly.
So instead of ignoring each other like regular people would when they hate each other, they decided to start pulling pranks on each other. This is only like the 1st or 2nd episode, okay guys? So this means like dumping water on each other, electrocuting each other, and they just start getting used to doing a bunch of these things to each other. And they start realizing that they're kind of obsessed with doing these stuff with each other. And literally not even like a day after like these pranks, you know, the characters are realizing, oh my god, what if I'm in love with the other person? Oh, I forgot to mention, the boy's name is Brian Brown, which is super important. And he also has a friend named Matthew that he meets like his first day of school there. And Matthew has a major crush on Valerie. He's always thought that she was like really pretty, really smart, and Brian's like, what the flip? He's like, that's so weird. But anyways, part 2, literally I would guess that this is day number 2. Is it more than just hate? And that's where it kind of like Brian starts getting jealous of Valerie talking to other people, and would kind of like push people away from talking to her. He also spread rumors about her sucking her thumb. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you want? I'm here to talk to John, not to you. John, the principal's looking for you. Really? Yeah. Okay, well, see you later. Okay. Why did you do that for? What do you mean? Are you jealous? Jealous? Me? Are you kidding me? Why would I be jealous? I hate you. Me? No.
Anyways, when the characters get home, in their separate homes, they start talking to their parents about possibly being in love with the other person, even though they literally just reunited like a day ago. And they want their parents to tell them, no, you're not in love with them. But the parents are like, you probably are. And they are like, no, I hate him. What do you mean, bro? Later on in this school day, Brian is walking in the hallways, and he comes across this girl named Veronica. She's a short hair cat, and Veronica's like, hey, come over here. And he's like, okay. And she's like, I have something to tell you, Brian. I really like you. I'm like, girl, Brian just moved here like 3 days ago. What do you mean? Anyway, she's like, I really like you. And then she kisses him, which I'm pretty sure is sexual assault because he did not consent to that. And the moment that she kisses him, Valerie appears out of nowhere, and she notices this, and she's like, oh, didn't realize I was interrupting something. And Brian's like, wait, no, it's not what it looks like. She's like, well, our math teacher or whatever was checking to see if you did the homework, but I guess you're busy. And she just walks away. But she's clearly upset because, you know, she is in love with him even though they reunited 3 days ago, and that is her childhood enemy. She also did not see that Brian told off Veronica and was like, I don't like you like that. And Veronica was like, rude. Girl, you assaulted him. Like, that's rude. Excuse me? So, episode 4, we have a grand ball, and this is when the ball gets rolling. So, these two characters go to the grand ball, but they are separate, Brian and Valerie, and they're wearing masquerade masks because, you know, it's a secret ball. And they get chosen to dance with each other to the most romantic song ever. I saw this creator is like making a reboot. You better include that slow dance. I'm being serious. To that song. It's too iconic to remove. Anyways, moving on. So these two characters end up falling in love with each other even though they just met each other, and they don't know that it's each other behind the masks. So they go into a room and kiss, but somebody is stalking them during this process. And you can see who it is when they walk into the room.
So, whatever your name is,
The more you watch the grand ball scene, you can see this cat, the orange cat, Veronica, who is the same girl that kissed Brian without his consent. You can see her more in the background, and it's actually kind of scary. So it just shows how many points she has on these two characters, how many things she's holding down, I don't even know how to label it. Anyways, moving on. So after she sees these two characters kiss, she decides to put a plan into action. The very next day at school, she walks over to Brian and says, oh, Valerie, she hates you. She's actually, I just saw her kissing, insert the blank, and Brian's like, oh my god, are you serious? And he's upset. So he's like, you know what, Veronica, you should be my girlfriend. And then they become boyfriend and girlfriend. And then later on, Veronica tells Valerie that Brian never wants to see her again, and that she would look better with another boy who I currently forgot the name of. But he was the collie that we saw in the beginning.
What is it?
Beast.
Well, you know John, right? Yeah. And Valerie? Of course. So, today, in the morning, just right now, I saw Valerie and John kissing. Wait, what? Yeah, Valerie and John. Kissing. 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 Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't?
This is when we start to see Veronica's colors really show. And while this is like a basic move to do, it gets so much better. So anyways, her plan works, and Valerie ends up going out with John, which is the collie, and Veronica ends up going out with Brian. And this happens for a little bit, and then the characters realize that they aren't happy. They break up with those two characters, and then Valerie and Brian get together again. And it lasts a while until season 2. In the first episode of season 2, we see Valerie crying. Apparently, Valerie was sent a mystery picture of a boy that looks very similar to Brian. She believes that it is Brian kissing another woman. So they break up. Now, I'm going to be skipping over a few things here, just because season 2 doesn't really have that much plot when it comes to this. It's kind of just like filler. A lot of filler things. But I'm going to be spoiling a lot. So either continue watching this or not. Anyways, moving on. So that was your warning. So they break up. Fast forward, now they are going off to college. They are still broken up, but they, agreed to going to the same college. So unfortunately, they're gonna be at the same college. But guess who else is at this college? Veronica. But no one knows it's Veronica because Veronica decided to get herself a makeover and change her name to Samantha. And she has this little lie going that she is actually John's sister. This girl is just not giving up, respect the hustle, I guess. So we're gonna skip over a few plot lines here, but basically what ends up happening is that John wants to try again with Valerie, even though he's kind of starting to feel bad a little bit for the things that he's done. Which, I understand. I would feel bad too. And then, so Brian ends up getting together with Veronica, aka Samantha, and they end up getting married, which is crazy. And then also, Valerie was gonna get married to that other guy, John. So that was like a thing too. But then during the wedding vows, Veronica actually ended up saying her real name. She's like, you should marry me, like Veronica. And everyone in the crowd was like, wait, Veronica? Oh my god, it was you this whole time? Which is wild. So then Brian's like, well, obviously I'm not gonna marry you now because you've been lying to me about who you actually are, and that's like really messed up. And also, Valerie doesn't go through her wedding either with John, because they were supposed to get married, and then they were just like, you know what, I can't do this. I don't feel like my heart belongs to you. And so, Valerie and Brian decide to get married, which is cute and exciting, but then Veronica is like, I'm still not over this guy. So she decides to do what I thought was the craziest thing possible until it got worse. So on the day that Valerie and Brian were gonna get married, Valerie is in the changing room preparing for her wedding. Veronica comes out of nowhere, beats her over the head with a pan, and kidnaps her, puts her in a cage in her house, in Veronica's house to clarify. So she drags the body all the way to her house and puts her in a cage, and there's this dude guarding her, which is actually the dude from the blackmail photo that she was sent a while ago, where it looked like Brian was kissing another girl. But this dude decided to get tattoos, so now he just looks like a whole other dog. Anyways, so now, Veronica has the opportunity to put makeup on and dress up as Valerie. But then the Great Dane, who has Valerie in a cage, he's starting to feel bad, so he just sets her free. And when I tell you, like, I believe this scene was inspired by My Little Pony, there's no way that it's not. The seeing double in the middle of a wedding. This is definitely a My Little Pony inspired scene. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Then you do want to get married with me, right? Of course I do. No, wait, Brian, don't get married with her. What? Valerie? Valerie? But how did you... What is this? Right. But how did you escape? Brian, she's not me. I know she may look like me, but she's not really me. I'm the real me. I'm Valerie Valentine. Brian, you were about to get married with Veronica. Ha! I knew it. What?
So Veronica ends up getting exposed and kicked out of the wedding, and after the wedding, all is well. Except Veronica is still planning, guys. Oh my god, she's still playing against them. I don't know. But apparently Veronica has a new group of friends now, and she is planning to get Brian on her side, and it wants to ruin Valerie's life. And what other way to do that than murder? Yes, guys, she's taking it to that level. I was surprised too, guys. Don't worry. I was like, what? But I'm not gonna lie here. So Veronica's friends actually had no idea that this was going to be the plan. They knew that they were gonna be taking revenge and doing something to Valerie's husband, but they didn't know that Veronica was planning on killing Valerie. So they freak out, and you know, John is freaking out too. He's like, dude, this is so messed up. Like, I can't even. So Veronica's like, no, yeah, Veronica's just like, okay, well, guess what? And she shoots him. And then the friend that was with them manages to escape to go find Brian wherever he may be, to go tell him what Veronica is planning to do to Valerie. But it ends up being too late. So Veronica manages to track down Valerie. Valerie is currently out grocery shopping. I forgot to mention this because I'm terrible at this, but Valerie is also pregnant suddenly as well. So that's kind of added on more to the storyline. So, you know, now she's expecting a child. Yeah, so Veronica tracks her down, and Brian is gonna go find her too, because he was notified by Poodle Girl that this was gonna happen, magically, you know. because I guess they've stalked this man enough, and, you know, she just knew where to go. And so they run over to the, supermarket, grocery store, whatever, and Valorie's car, for some reason, is acting weird. And, when she's outside of the car, she turns around, and there is Veronica with a gun. And the whole group comes together, and they witness this. They obviously have a conversation with Veronica, some confronting, and they're telling her that it's too far, yada yada yada. And, also John's there too. His body's like dragged on the ground. I guess she brought him with. I have no idea why. That's just more evidence against yourself. Like, I don't know. But then Veronica starts crying. She admits that it's too far. She drops her gun and walks away. And the cast is immediately like, something's up with her, because why'd she give that up suddenly? And then Brian looks into Valerie's car and sees that there is a bomb. Yeah, the car ends up exploding. Anyways, I'm so sorry for any audio mess ups. I'm not too sure what's going on with my computer right now. But that is the end of part 1 of LPS More Than That. And if you think that this part of the storyline was crazy, it gets worse. Trust and believe. By worse, I mean better. By worse, I'm just talking about crimes. The actual series itself is probably one of my favorite LPS series in the world. Because I just love the way that it was written, and I love the characters that were portrayed and the villains. It's not like anything I've seen on LPS 2 before, like this just level of, just like this level of like LPS drama. I just think it's a very camp series. I don't know how to explain it, but I just think it is. Also, if you are the creator of this series, and if you want me to take this down because I did use your clips without permission, just comment down below and I will do that. And I could try to remake this video without showing clips. I just like showing clips for a little imagery. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And let me know what silly games you want me to play in the background. I always try to be playing something entertaining, just because I just realize people just enjoy seeing an actual background, instead of a picture like I did with LPS Haunted. But anyways, I love you guys so much, and thank you for tuning in.